What's happening? It's another freaking cold day here in London, Ontario. My name's Scott. I'm with Newum, and I just want to quickly talk about this service at church we had last Sunday that was actually really awesome. It was from Anthony, and it was done at Forest City North here in London, and it was actually a pretty amazing talk on humility, looking at the life of David and the interaction of like David and Goliath. Um, Hopefully you know the story. If not, check it out in the Bible. Um, I really did love the entire talk. I've just listened to it again. I'm trying to formulate my thoughts a little bit better for you. Um, it actually raised a lot of things up in my mind, especially while I was at church. And I took a few little notes in Evernote. Um, and so I've just been trying to expand on how I interpreted it and how it spoke with me related to fitness, and what I'm doing at Newham. So I've recently taken up a serious love of gym selfies, and it's not it's not because maybe why you think, or it's maybe not because of of uh of me getting a little bit better shape now. It's actually because I'm starting to figure out why I need to share them. And also, it started when I started to uh when I actually started to launch Newham again, finally. So, I mean, in the fitness industry, I think there's a huge issue with pride, and achievement. If you ever listen to a lot of what Greg Plitt talked about, rest in peace, bro. Talked about pride a lot. There's other YouTubers out there that are discussing pride. Um, there's there's companies and personalities out there that are very much keep grinding, hustle, never sleep, never stop working. Um, Look how hard I'm working here. You'll never get this if you ever take a day off. Um, you know what I mean? You can never overtrain. It never stops, kind of thing, right? And it goes with that whole like self-made mentality. And even right now, I'm gonna admit that I'm struggling and wrestling with the commercials from Reebok about be more human. Seriously struggling with those. But that might be another video because I'm really wrestling with it. Um, but regarding humility and pride, in the fitness industry, the the gym selfies. I can't believe I'm gonna say it, but it's so far from pride that it feels so good to actually hear that I'm on the right track, because I was scared that I was being narcissistic, and I'm scared and feeling weird trying to take a photo at the gym, like look how in love with himself that guy is, right? um Meanwhile, I'm like massively suffering from depression and on three different depression medications, it's kind of interesting. But the point is now but like the point is, like, what are your selfies doing, right? So, are you sharing any selfies of your transformation or your journey? And what are they trying to communicate, right? Are they saying like you work harder than everybody else? Are they saying look at this grind it out, that you're self-made, and how look how far you've come on your own? Um, I'm getting a pop up here. There we go. That you're never satisfied with how you look. Like you're just constantly hungry with getting better and better. Um, I loved the way Anthony said how God looks to reverse the way we look at things today. Um, like, what did he say? He says we often take humility as if we have to look really low, or we have to look at ourselves as like less. We think less of ourselves. Um, to make it look like we're humble, we have to make it seem like we're small and insignificant. But he said that this is actually a form of pride. It's a form of forced humility, and that forced humility is actually pride. He gave a really cool quote from C.S. Lewis that I can't remember and I can't um, mention, but I mean, I'll link to the podcast because I think it's something that everyone should listen to um, on a few different levels. But yeah, like so so the issue here with depression, right? Um, it's I think it might be massive forced humility, and this is what's dangerous about it is when you're someone who's super depressed, you put yourself right at the bottom of everything. Like nothing matters. Um, you're at the bottom of the world, and you're not trying to help anybody else out. Like everyone is second nature, second. You're just not good enough to do anything for anybody anymore. However, it's completely reversed. Um, as someone going through depression and as someone who's trying to lose fat again, who's been 250 pounds at 5'9", for me to hide these aspects would be super prideful. I would never help anybody else. If I was just to try and make it look like I'm doing better than I am, or if I was to just say I'm not good enough, I'm not someone that could actually help somebody else, I would make myself weaker and smaller than I actually am, then it all is the same end result, right? Um, so the act of taking a gym selfie isn't narcissistic. It's not prideful. Um, Depending how you use them, of course, but this isn't to impress others. Um, it's not to say, look how far I've come with these before and after photos. Um, and if you ever want to see these results, you're gonna have to work just as hard. You're gonna have to take no days off. Um, the reason, oh my gosh, guys, the reason for my gym selfies is to is to lower myself to raise you up, right? Like to put my time, my comfort on hold to see if I could possibly help you in any way, right? So it's to try and take an interest in other people like you and that are struggling with your own fitness and personal issues, um, to show you that we can get past them with the help of God, right? So it's like I'm not comfortable seeing my selfies. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not comfortable seeing myself in a like shirtless. I'm not comfortable taking videos of me doing a measurement around my stomach with the way I look. I'm not comfortable whatsoever. Like if I was to go to the beach tomorrow, I would feel weird. Um, right? But I get so nervous and freaked out every time I share those photos with people because I'm just not in that spot where I would love to be, right? But I know there's so many of you out there and so many people out there that are struggling with obesity, struggling with weight loss, struggling with depression that I want I want you to show that if we are confident in God, if we belong to God and we know that we belong to God, um, that we have a special power that lives within us that gives us this ability to put ourselves a little bit lower and put everyone else around us higher. Um, so I mean, I know there's other people out there that have way better bodies, way better physiques, way more shredded, that like will inspire other people to start working out, to get fit, right? And there's nothing wrong with those people. It's a totally different mentality. Um, it's just, I wonder if we struggle with this issue of obesity and actually overcoming these weight issues is because we can't relate. Like really, they just become perfect entertainment and a dream. And then once real life hits, that's where it goes, right? But I put myself down here, um, not as a form of forced humility, but as a way to rise up the power and the glory of Jesus, which is how David was able to walk down and challenge Goliath, right? That's what these videos are attempt as well. Like I can't do these videos still. These are terrible, and I hope like 6 people watch, all my family or something like that. You know what I mean? So, guys, like, I don't know. This will all be on my blog post in written form as well. But like, this is hard stuff, and I'm not saying like, look how hard I'm hustling, even though it's 100 days of hustle. It's honestly right now, as you can see, it's a serious struggle for me. But I'm not doing it to try and get famous. I'm not trying to get YouTube famous. I'm not trying to, uh, I don't know what you would say, but like, the point here is to bring the message of Jesus to the faithful and the unfaithful, the people close to God and far from God. That's the point of all that I'm doing with New Womb. And that's what my life is about. That's what happens when you give your life to Christ and you live in Christ and Christ lives in you. So, I mean, the gym selfies are going to continue. I'm using a selfie stick right now. Check that out. And I just need to get even more comfortable in taking this guy to the gym to get a few more selfies. Maybe tomorrow. How about that? Force myself. Make myself look like a douchebag. All for you guys. So that was one of the other things, is I was at the gym and I'm like taking a selfie and I'm like, man, these people have no idea that I'm taking this photo because I want to help a bunch of people going through the same scenarios that I'm going through. I'm taking this photo because I want to help that same person who might be judging me right now. You know? That is exactly why I was standing there taking that photo. Even as awkward as I felt as people walked around me. If you want to see some of those photos, check out my Instagram for New Womb, which is instagram.com/newwomb or @newwomb on Instagram. Look it up. Yeah, I've been trying to just share different selfies related to the shirts I'm wearing and the transformations and before and afters. It's honestly super frustrating and scary to share them as soon as I hit post and want to delete them right after, but there have been some people that have been really encouraging and saying good job, and it's actually been a struggle for me to say like thanks, because I'm not doing this for the compliments on my physique. I'm doing it in hopes that people who are having the same problems can see that anything's possible with God. All right. So guys, this has been way longer. I was going to try and keep it to 5 minutes, but I just rambled and I'm not able to spend the time trying to cut and splice and stuff like that in in video editors. So I'm feeling nice and warm. I'm going to stop rambling on, but I'll have the link to the podcast from Forest City North in the description, and the link to my blog post, which will hopefully be a little more concise, and to the social media spots. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you made it to this whole thing, and have a good day. Bye.